Hey guys, it's Jamie Wasinski and Matheson and Associates, and we're back doing the first Friday, and it's the first Friday of December. It's holiday season, so we're very excited about that. Our topic this month is co-parenting and the holidays, because we know that this can be a very contentious time. And we have with us today our new senior associate, Dana Bellengrath, and you guys have not yet met her, but here she is, and she's going to be talking about this with us, and we are hoping to give you guys some super helpful insight to how to navigate this hectic holiday season. First, we're going to go ahead and discuss what is the best practices for figuring out the holiday schedule. Dana, what do you think all of our lovely clients should do for the holidays in terms of their schedule?
Sure. Well, obviously, the first thing you have to think about is to have a plan for what the schedule is going to be for the holidays, how you and the other parent are going to split the holiday or celebrate the holiday with the kids in advance. Now, if it's the first Christmas or Hanukkah or Kwanzaa, if it's the first holiday that you and their parent are not going to be together, that can be a little bit more challenging. If you have not worked that out in a custody contract or a court order, then you and the other parent should at least still have discussions and work out the schedule ahead of time. So that's the first thing. And obviously, if it's got a court order or you've already got an agreement for custody in place, that makes it a little bit easier. You don't have to have additional discussions. But the sooner in advance you can work those things out, the better, because then you know what's going on and the kids know what's going on. So that's the first thing I would suggest.
Okay. I'll add a little bit to that and say that if your custody order, after it's been drafted and written, or your custody contract has been drafted and written, if you read it later and find out that you do have questions, the sooner you reach out to your attorney and try to get that resolved, the better it's going to be for you as you approach the holidays, just because you want to make sure that you have that ironed out way in advance, because you don't want to find out about a week beforehand that you don't know what's going on and either your attorney's out of town or somebody is not present for you to answer these questions and you guys are not having this issue resolved, and then you have a very contentious Christmas, because that's not going to be beneficial for your child or children whatsoever, and your holiday season may be impacted by that adversely, and you just want to make sure that your children are having the best holidays that they can. As it relates to that speaks to the issue of cooperation. You guys want to make sure that you all are on the same page with regards to things like communication about travel, because traveling, as you know, when you're shopping, when you're out on the road, when you're driving to work, when you're getting whatever you need done during the month of December, basically from Black Friday all the way to the New Year, traffic is terrible. So you want to make sure that you give the other party a little bit of leniency when it comes to the exchanges, whether you guys have a court order or whether you guys don't have a court order. You want to make sure that that is handled and you guys are communicating well in advance about whether or not there's any delays, accidents, and that may be holding you up, because the last thing you will want to be doing to one another is serving each other with show cause motions and going to court because nobody communicated about possible tardies and being late to exchange points because there was a failure to communicate. Dana, do you want to talk about expectations and setting reasonable expectations?
Sure. So obviously, you want, if possible, you want to have a plan for maybe what the two of you are going to do about gift giving with the kids when it's the first holiday season together. Maybe the two of you are going to decide to give a gift together. Maybe you're going to give gifts separately. So having a conversation and being prepared for how you're going to handle the gift giving for the kids is a good idea in advance. It's also a good idea to help the children shop for the other parent. That's one way to promote their relationship with the other parent. It's a way to keep their happiness paramount, and that's always a good idea with your kids. So having those kind of expectations, obviously having an expectation of which parent has the holiday and preparing the children for the fact if they're not going to be with you that year. Recognizing that that can be different for the kids, particularly the first year. be sure that you've got a plan for how to celebrate that holiday with them on another day when they're going to be back with you, and how to make it just as special for them as if it would be if it was on the holiday, so they don't really get upset, or they'll work it out. Kids are they're pretty resilient, and so they'll generally be fine, but as long as they have a plan, that makes that a lot less anxiety producing for them and for you as well. So that would be another way I would say setting expectations would be helpful.
Right. And I like that you said for you, because that does speak to the issue of self-care, because I understand that every year you have been used to having your child with you for that particular holiday, whether it's Christmas or Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, whatever. But there are years where that child is now suddenly going to be not with you every other year. And what are you going to do to help you kind of fill that void? So you want to make sure you make plans with family, friends, whatever, so that way you can kind of take your mind off the fact that you don't necessarily have your child with you that year, or your children with you that year. So make sure that you are taking care of yourself, because the holidays, you don't want to make sure that you're by yourself during the holidays during that time, because that is a very, you could be in a situation where your mental health is getting neglected, and that is something that you want to make sure that you're always keeping track of. And one more thing about family members, if you know that your child is with family members and you do have the custody of the child during that moment before your exchange, definitely make sure that you're communicating with the other parent that, if you are running a little bit late, and this is also part of setting expectations, that the child is actually enjoying and engaging with other family members maybe they hadn't seen before. This way, your child is actually enjoying that part of the holiday with their family and that they haven't seen, so that way they can make the most of this moment, because they may not see that family again for another year or two, depending on when they actually have custody of that child again. So please make sure to keep that in mind whenever you're looking to do that custody exchange. Is there anything else that you wanted to add regarding co-parenting?
I think keeping your kids' best interest to mind, that's what all of this is about. That's what you as parents are doing, right? If you weren't separated from their other parent, you guys would be trying to make it a great holiday for them together. And so I think you need to still be trying to make it a great holiday as best you can for them, even though you're going to be apart from their other parent. Whether it's the first Christmas or holiday that's happened, or you've been doing that for a long time, rise above any pettiness. This is a season to promote positivity, to be as cooperative with the other parent, and don't get into a competition. It's not a competition. Just do the best you can, and but avoid disagreements, and certainly avoid having any conversations or disagreements about this with the other parent where the children can see or hear you.
Absolutely. Remember, you were a kid once, and remember how magical that moment was when you were having all this time with your family. Okay? With that being said, for you to get a free consultation regarding your custody arrangement and custody this month, the code is holidays 2024. So please give us a call. We look forward to scheduling a consultation with you. Otherwise, if we don't hear from you, happy holidays from Matheson and Associates. All right?
Yep, we wish you a very happy holiday season and enjoyable time with your children.
Thank you.
Thank you.